Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for better success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. And so we're going to get right to today with our guests. We actually have 2 guests today. So with question number 1, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, thank you, Keith. My name is Craig Dietz, and my business partner is Kyle Jersey. We own Jumpstart Franchise Services. We work with emerging and growing brands to improve their ability to franchise. So we typically work with 2 types of franchise visionaries. The first type are already successful. They know what they want to do, but they know that in order to get even better and to improve and get to the next level, they've got to do something, but they're not quite sure what that is. The second type are also visionaries, but they're really struggling because generally they're in the emerging and growing, which means they're just starting out or they're just learning about franchising. And they typically are overwhelmed by what is involved with franchising. They're fearful of making costly mistakes and they're concerned that they're just not doing it right. So because of Kyle's 30 years of experience in franchising and my years of experience, they come to us with that kind of question. So Kyle?
Thanks, Craig. Hey, Keith.
Hey.
My name's Kyle Jersey. Craig kind of gave a quick intro. I've been around franchising about 30 years. Craig and I partnered up about 3 years ago. I work more on the strategy side of the business, and that's about it.
Well, and a lot of hoops that people have to jump through to become a franchisor, and a lot of regulations and stuff. So they definitely need help. So it's great that you guys do what you do. So question number 2, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
Keith, I can take that one. As you think about being a business leader, especially in franchising, whether we're working with franchisors or franchisees, I think being able to provide experience and education, helping folks achieve their dreams. So being able to build their business, help them find a business that they may be interested in, but franchising is great for that.
Definitely a way to kind of leave a legacy. So
Without a doubt.
very nice. All right. Question number 3. I hear from other business leaders that a lot of times their people strategy in their business is more difficult, challenging than their actual business strategy in running their business. Your thoughts?
I'll take that. Well, it's a little bit of both. However, because people are just in the emerging brands, they have always been operating their business like pretend they sell widgets, right? So they're used to selling widgets, they're making them, they're handing them out to the customer. That's what they do. But when they go into franchising, they're no longer selling widgets. They're selling stores that sell widgets. So the skill set and the people that they need around them are quite different than what they've had in the past. It's pretty common for us to run across concepts that say, hey, we've got all these people that helped us build this business. And you know what? They're fantastic at the operations. They're really passionate about the business. However, they don't understand franchising. And that's the really key difference. So we like to say, in franchising, we don't sell widgets. We sell stores that sell widgets. So it's because of that I think that in franchising especially, you really need to take a look at the people side of the business, because that's where you're going to succeed or fail.
Very true. You got to get out of that technical mindset and, like you said, to the operations and to running a store, multiple stores and those kind of things. So,
well, and it's even bigger than that, because you're not just running the stores. Right. Your customers used to be the person who bought the widget. Your new customer is the person who bought the store that sells the widgets. So your new customer is more savvy. They're a business owner, or they're not, and they've never run a business before. So they really need a lot more hand-holding. And so it's really critical that as an emerging brand, you pick franchisees that can run an operation, not just make and sell widgets.
And to that point, I tell franchisors, especially emerging ones, you need to set proper expectations with franchisees. I think in the beginning, you just want to do everything for them because you want so badly for them to be successful. So you do everything, and pretty soon they rely on you. And I recommend for folks just starting in franchising, act like you got 100 locations. How would you support 100 locations and build your infrastructure and your expectations along the way the same way you would if you were a larger brand? Write your FDD in a way that is like a larger brand would write it. Provide support, whether you have one franchisee or 100 franchisees, it should be the same type of support. If you really set those expectations and understand your role as a franchisor, your job is not to go unclog toilets for the franchisee. Things will go smoother. So, that's just a mindset, and it's all with good intentions. Those franchisors just want those first franchisees to be successful, but understand it's the franchisee's business, not yours.
Right. Great. Okay. So question number 4, what strategy would you like to share with other business leaders today?
Oh, I'll take that one. And when you think about strategy, you look at businesses, it could be a franchise business, it could be a franchisor, it could be a mom and pop business. I talk to all those people all the time. And, an annual operating plan, setting forth a measurable strategy that drives towards a common goal is huge. I talk to businesses all the time, and I go, at the end of the year, do you have something to tell you that you've been successful? Is it a revenue goal? Is it a profit goal? Is it a new client goal? What is it? And it's shocking how many people don't know that. They just go in there every day and they make the widget. They don't understand, I need to sell X amount of widgets to be successful. So I liken it to, let's say Keith, Craig, and I go to a basketball game, and we spend all kinds of money on tickets, and we get our beer and our hot dogs, and we sit down, and then they decide we're not going to keep score. So they just turn the scoreboard off, and you watch people run up and down the court, and you wonder, how much fun is that? You want to know who wins and loses. Business should be the same way, right? You should be able to tell, are you scoring points that day? Is it leading to a bigger goal? Are you measuring those objectives every single day? So my recommendation when you talk about strategy is have a common goal and share it with your team. Everyone needs to row in the same direction. Everyone I'll go into businesses all the time and talk to the director of marketing, and I go, oh, what's your job here? It's different. Everyone doesn't know what the goal is. They just go in and do their little job, and they don't understand that maybe it fits to a bigger building block that drives corporate performance. Right. So I would tell you, have a plan, measure your plan, and have a goal and objectives that people work towards.
Don't just wing it, right?
What's this podcast called again, Keith?
Wing it?
Well, hope is not a strategy.
Hope is not a strategy. Yeah. I just told you why it's not.
That's right.
So, maybe I should write a book.
There you go. You could call it that too.
That's what I would call it.
So, hey, we are getting close to being out of time, but question number 5, what other successful business owners, CEOs like yourself, would you like to do a shout out to, or you think might be good on the podcast?
Yeah, I'll since we're tight on time, I'll mention that his name is Dave Cotillo. He is the CEO and president of B Balance Hormone Weight Loss Centers. They're out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. About 30 locations, but he has built his business with a plan. He supports his franchisees consistently, and they feel like he's done a great job being a franchisor, starting from that first one sold all the way up to about 25. He's done a fantastic job.
Great. It sounds like he could be a great guest as well. We'll reach out to him.
There we go.
All right. Question number 6 then. Just a kind of a final fun question for either one of you or both of you. Tell me about one of your favorite past bosses.
Well, let me just say this. I've had a lot of great bosses, and I've had some terrible bosses. And I think that it's really important to understand that you learn as much from the bad bosses as you do from the good bosses. Sometimes what you learn from the bad bosses is more valuable, because you learn how not to be a leader. You learn how not to treat people. And from the good bosses, the best bosses I've ever had were the ones who were willing to get their hands dirty and take responsibility and not shift blame. They don't blame someone else if something goes wrong. They just say, okay, this is wrong. What would we do next time to fix it?
That seems to be a big problem in a lot of businesses where they, the boss, the CEO, the owner doesn't always take responsibility. So,
It's a plague throughout our whole country right now, quite honestly.
right.
So,
I don't know, Kyle, did you have anything to
Kyle,
add?
what do you want to add?
No, I'm having flashbacks of bad bosses.
Sorry for the nightmare. Didn't mean to cause you a nightmare.
No, I would echo what Craig says. You know what I mean? It's you build your own kind of makeup and how you manage people from others. And it could be good, it could be bad. I think it all builds on who you are as a leader. I can think of my worst boss ever, but I would tell you I learned some great things from that individual. Not like he taught me purposely, but I stepped back and thought about it. What are the things that he did do well and helped me be better as a professional as I am today? So yeah, I think everyone kind of leans towards good bosses and goes, oh my gosh, that's the tough ones are just as big as a learning experience as the good ones.
Well said. Well, it has been fun having both of you on today. Before we leave, can you tell people how they can reach out to you or connect with you?
Go ahead.
I'm going to let you take that because we encourage people to reach out to Kyle, and our website is Jumpstart Fran Services. Kyle, why don't you can give them your contact information?
Yeah, sure. My email address is Kyle@jumpstartfranservices, FRAN services.com. And you can reach me also at 360-608-8299.
Well, we are out of time, sorry, but it's been great having you on. Lots of fun, and we wish you both the best. And this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. And for more insights, you can follow us on LinkedIn at Weaver Business Coaching. And of course, listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. And we wish you the best success.
Thanks,
All right.
Keith.
Thank you, Keith. It's been a pleasure.